and welcome to the Empowered Solo Moms podcast. I'm Antonia Etim, a wife, mother, and someone who has learned firsthand the power of self awareness. Knowing who you are, your strengths, values, fears, and your dreams is the foundation for living a life that truly aligns with you. And today, we're diving deep into what that really means. I want you to take a deep breath right now, wherever you are. Whether you're at home, in your car, or on a walk, just pause for a moment. Today, we're not just going to talk about self awareness, we're going to experience it together. This conversation isn't about adding more to your to do list. It's about stripping away the noise and tuning into who you truly are. Let me take you through my journey to self-awareness. Like many of you, I grew up with expectations placed on me. My parents, especially my mom, had a vision for my future. And for a long time, I followed the path she wanted for me. And let's be honest, how many of us have done that? We go to school, choose a career, make decisions, all to please the people we love because they want what's best for us. My mom wanted me to be financially stable, independent, and secure, just like any caring parent would wish for their child. And so I followed that path, believing it was the right thing to do. But deep in my heart, I always felt drawn to something different. I longed to help people in a deeper, more personal way, to support their mental and emotional well-being, to truly listen, to guide, and to uplift. I wasn't sure how to do that, and honestly, I didn't have the confidence to push for what I truly wanted. And then something incredible happened. Life began revealing my true path. Not through a fancy job title, but through everyday interactions. I noticed how young women naturally gravitated towards me, how friends sought my advice, and even how strangers would open up about their struggles. I realized that my gift, my calling was already at work in my life. I didn't need permission to step into it. I just needed to embrace it. That's the power of self-awareness. When you take the time to reflect, you start noticing patterns. You begin to understand what energizes you, what drains you, and what truly fulfills you. And when you see those things clearly, you start making decisions that align with who you really are. Let's break it down. What exactly is self-awareness? Self-awareness is the ability to understand your emotions, thoughts, and actions, and how they shape your life. It's about recognizing not just what you do, but why you do it. It's understanding what triggers your reactions, what drives your decisions, and what brings you joy or frustration. When you truly know yourself, you can make better choices, choices that align with who you are and who you want to become. But here's the thing, self-awareness isn't about being perfect or having all the answers. It's about being honest with yourself, seeing both your strengths and your blind spots. And that honest self-reflection, that's where transformation begins. Why self-awareness matters. When you develop self-awareness, everything changes. Let's look at 3 big reasons why it matters. 1, you make better decisions. How often have you made a decision out of fear or pressure? Self-awareness can help you break that cycle. When you know your core values, decision-making becomes clearer. You're not swayed by external forces because you have your own personal compass guiding you. You also stop repeating past mistakes by reflecting on previous choices and learning what truly works for you. 2, you recognize emotional triggers. Ever reacted to a situation and later wondered why you felt so overwhelmed? Self-awareness teaches you to separate temporary emotions from long-term goals. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can step back, assess your feelings, and make choices that benefit you in the long run. And this doesn't just improve your decisions, it strengthens your relationships by allowing you to communicate more effectively. 3, you gain confidence in yourself. When your decisions come from a place of self-awareness, you trust yourself more. You stop second-guessing and begin to stand firm in your choices because they align with your values and priorities. That kind of confidence, it's life-changing. One of my favorite books on self-awareness is Insights by Tasha Eurich, an organizational psychologist. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it. One quote from her book has stayed with me. The irony of self-awareness is that we don't actually know ourselves as well as we think we do. But the more we seek to understand, the more we grow. Self-awareness isn't a destination. It's an ongoing journey. The more you reflect, the more you discover about yourself and the more power you have to shape your life intentionally. If this conversation is resonating with you, I encourage you to grab a copy of Insight through my affiliate link below. It's one of the most practical, eye-opening books I've ever read, and it has transformed the way I approach my journey. Let me share a real-life example of how self-awareness changed my decisions. I recently had to apply for a new job after losing a contract I truly enjoyed. At first, I jumped at a new opportunity, but something just didn't feel right. When I took a moment to reflect, I realized that my top priority is my family. I need flexibility because my husband walks away, and I want to be there for my children for every special moment. I had to ask myself, was I choosing this job out of fear, financial insecurity, or was it truly aligned with my values? Once I tuned in, the answer became clear. I walked away from what looked good on paper and chose what felt right for me. And that's the power of self-awareness. Making the best decisions comes from clarity, not from pressure. When you are self-aware, you don't just choose what looks good, you choose what feels right. You think deeply about your values, your priorities, and what truly matters. And when you do that, life aligns in a way that feels almost effortless. Tomorrow, we'll explore practical ways to develop self awareness. And the day after, we will talk about breaking free from the doubts that hold us back. But for today, I want you to reflect on this. What are the patterns in your life trying to tell you? Thank you for joining me on the Empowered Solo Moms podcast. If today's episode spoke to you, please share it with a friend. And don't forget to check out Insight by Tasha Urick through the link below. Until next time, stay true to yourself.